Greetings and salutations. Grace unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. This is Wesley Webb, pastor of the Grace Baptist Church in Greater Downtown Metropolitan McBee, South Carolina, and welcome to another episode of the Higher Grounds Podcast and today's Morning Minute Meditation. I'm interested today in 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 5 through 8. For sake of time, I'm not going to read all those verses, but if you are familiar with the passage, or maybe you go back and read it, a brief look at the circumstances surrounding these verses would lead anyone familiar with the subject of depression to conclude that Elijah is in the midst of a very depressive episode in his life. That being said, it's interesting what God prescribes for him for his depression at that time. First of all, he prescribed essential rest. Twice the Bible said that Elijah slept. You have to pay attention to get proper rest, and I'm not talking about being lazy or using it as an excuse. I'm talking about just essential rest. Getting the sleep that your body needs is essential in dealing with the subject of depression. The body is a chemical making factory, and it does its best work when you are asleep and at rest. And so you have to pay attention to your sleep, and that's the first part of the prescription for depression. Secondly, not only essential rest, but everyday rations. Twice in that passage, Elijah was fed a good meal. No preservatives, no junk food, nothing unhealthy. Our body needs nutrition, and we all know this, but we rarely pay attention to it. The great Dr. Bo Wagner said, "A liver mush and grease biscuit for breakfast, a Big Mac combo for lunch, and a bag of potato chips and a soda for supper week after week. No wonder everyone's depressed." And he's probably right. Eating poorly not only wrecks your physical condition, but depression is just a logical result. And God knew that. That's why God prescribed everyday rations for him. And the third thing, essential rest, everyday rations, and an exercise routine. God sent Elijah on a 40-day walk and hike up in the mountains. We could even say he went rock climbing. Now, I know that's tongue-in-cheek, but the point is God prescribed exercise to Elijah in verses 7 and 8 of that passage because he knew that was part of what Elijah needed. So with all that being said, God's prescription for depression: essential rest, everyday rations, a good healthy diet, and your exercise routine. That's what God prescribes in dealing with depression. Well, that's all the time I have for today's Morning Minute Meditation. Y'all have a great day, and remember, it is what it is.